And a proposal by the National Council Churches of Kenya, NCCK, has received criticism, good and bad, from right, left and centre. Well, the church is proposing for a review of the constitution to create the position of Prime Minister as well as that of official leader of the opposition in Parliament. But another religious-based organisation has a completely different view on the form of governance Kenya should have. And joining me now from our City Centre studio is the President of the Public Service Governance, Esther Waringa. Thank you, Esther, for joining us. Now, maybe you can tell us, why do you have a problem with Kenya's governance as it is right now?
Yeah, I have a problem. Good morning, viewers. My name is Esther, the President of Public Service Governance. And it's true, I have a problem with the current state of governance in the Republic of Kenya. Because if we are to take stock of the elective system of governance since its inception, 1963. What are some of the negative effects we have had through the elective system of governance? After every 5 years, Kenya goes down economically, socially, and we see families separated. There's so much tribal divisions based on the political parties' affiliation. I think it is time, Kenya, we think beyond the elective system. We think of a system that is going to birth sustainable peace beyond 5 years to be able to achieve economic, social, and moral progress of the nation. So that's why we are supporting the public service system of governance, where we will have only the government ministries, the Minister of Agriculture, Health, Energy, and the rest taking care of the development mandate of the nation. We envisage a scenario whereby if we have ministries at the national level, then we devolve them at the county level, further to the constituency level, and at the ward level we reinstate the extension officers. In that kind of a system, I don't think we will need politicians. We will only need the ministries to know their mandate and to carry out effectively and efficiently to be able to give services directly to Kenyans without any political interference. Equally, when we look at the budgets, right, the budgets that we spend in elective system, the budgets, very heavy budgets, August 8 elections preparedness, we spent more than 50 billion Kenya shillings. From the IBC to the judiciary to the political parties funding, we spent more than 50 billion. For the presidential run, again, we have spent more than 20 billion. And again, until now, after spending all that, Kenya does not yet have a solution. So, all right. Should we continue with this system that is totally draining the economy, draining the social and moral standing of the nation? No, we should now revert to the public service system of governance. No more elections. And I want
to hear more about this new proposal. So you're saying that you have various ministries that take care of the interests of Kenyans, whether it's in agriculture, health, but then who really do they report to?
Yes. Thank you. They will report to the chief executive of that of the government, because we are going to have the chief of executive, the person who will play the role of oversight authority of the learning of the public service government. And I always say, because I am the vision carrier and I know what kind of a system I'm envisaging, automatically I will have to oversee the implementation of the system. Then, after some time, the Public Service Governing Council will be able to come up with the legal, with the legality or the legal process of having the next president on board. But for now, I think what we are supposed to do right away is to create or to have a solution to the current governance stalemate. We move very quickly and say no more to elections in Kenya, and then we have the ministries, the CSs down at work. And then all the money that we are spending in elective system should be geared towards streamlining the ministries and also towards the growth of the economy of the Republic of Kenya.
All right, so your proposal really sounds like it's quite cutthroat. I mean, you've mentioned one of the reasons you think we should do away with the system as it is right now is, first of all, we spend a lot of money, in our politics and everything. But then what more informs this new system that you're proposing?
Apart from the budget that informs the new public service governance proposal, the country is right now torn into pieces. Kenya cannot continue being governed like this. I was just listening to some guests in the studio, and one was from the Jubilee side, and the other one was from NASA. And this is a good reflection of how the country is. The country is totally divided into two. We had them recently proposing to have a Central Republic of Kenya, and the other group to have a Republic of Kenya. No, Kenya cannot go this way. Therefore, the country is totally divided. It's totally worn out. So that's another issue that is really informing the establishment of public service government, because in a public service government, we will not have elections at all. Therefore, we will also abolish political parties. We will not have any political parties in the Republic of Kenya. Kenyans will be one, waiting for the ministries to bring them services. From the national level to their villages, the services will be taken directly there. In that kind of a scenario, we will not have a breach of peace after every 5 years. By the way, again, that is the third informing the third issue informing the establishment of public service governance, the breach of peace in this country. After every 5 years, Kenyans fear. I was engaging some of the high-ranking Kenyans recently, and they were telling me, Esther, every elective period, we have to take our children out of school. They have to go out of school to be able to get into another country for their safety. Do we continue in such kind of a scenario? No. So for the sake of sustainable peace, beyond 5 years, actually this is the only solution to peace lasting. And actually I would like to challenge the National Cohesion and Integration Commission that the only solution to integration, cohesion, and lasting peace is establishing a government of Kenya without elections forever. It is doable. It is very much doable. Because where there is a will, there is always a way. Yeah.
All right. Do you think that your proposal seems a bit far-fetched, considering, you know, Kenya's political history, and that this has been who we are for since independence and even before?
Yeah. Well, I wish to say that we have to be flexible as Kenyans. And actually, a nation that does not embrace change, the nation cannot progress. Just imagine the change that we have so far achieved in technological growth. You remember those times where we had communication that was done through either you write fire, or even those days in Kenya where we used to go to the telephone booths where you used to put coins so that you are taken to the operator, such kind of thing. We have now revolutionized communication to whereby right now I can talk to anyone in the US through Skype this minute, you see? Technological growth. And at the same time, we should be able to embrace governance growth. We cannot keep holding on to a system that started since the days of our forefathers, and keep holding and clinging on to it, yet it has died, and it has fallen, and it is not providing solutions anymore to this country. So it is good that at such a point right as now, we embrace change to a new high and peaceful system of governance that is going to birth sustainable peace in the Republic of Kenya. And it's going to bring the Republic of Kenya and its citizens as one nation under God's sovereignty.
All right. So what do you plan to do with this proposal? How does it see the light of day?
Thank you very much. We have already started, we have formed a national secretariat that is already working towards sensitizing Kenyans. What we are doing, we are organizing sensitization workshops at the county and constituency levels, and even at the ward levels around the country. We have already just started on it. At the same time, recently I sat with the Chief Executive of National Cohesion and Integration Commission. I have also sat with Mr. Duku, who is leading the National Security Council and the UIANO team, and I'm trying to engage them. Recently, I also engaged the Independent and Electoral Boundaries Commission project team that, look here, we have a solution to bring the country to peace. And also, I'm now moving forward very quickly to be able to engage the Chief Justice, David Maraga, His Excellency, the President Uhuru Kenyatta, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, and all other people that share, that shoulder the governance mandate of this nation. We come together to a roundtable conference. We sit together and try to forge a way forward for Kenya through establishing public service system of governance without election. Let us remember that Kenya is not about President Uhuru Kenyatta. Kenya is not about His Excellency, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Kenya is beyond any individual in this country. Therefore, let us sit down. Let us humble ourselves. Let us get a practical solution for this nation before we envisage another 207, 208 scenario that brought the nation into tatters.
All right. Thank you very much, Esther Waringa. She is the president of the Public Service Governance, just proposing a new system of governance here in the country. Quite an interesting conversation that was.